Welcome back guys. Myth Wukong received a major update a week ago that improved the game's performance. The update also includes many bug fixes. This is the update log. The game officially supports FSR 3.1 and FSR 4 now. Significantly improved the lighting quality when global illumination is set to low, making it closer to the effect when global illumination is set to high. Improved CPU and rendering performance in numerous scenarios. Improved memory usage in numerous scenarios. In this video, I'll be testing the game on my Steam Deck that comes with Linux-based SteamOS. We'll also show you how to use the INT8 version of FSR 4 Upscaler. We'll be injecting it into the game using Optiscaler mod. We cannot use the official implementation of FSR 4 on Steam Deck as it is based on FP8 model, which is not compatible with Steam Deck. I even tried using Optiscaler XeSS frame generation in this game, but I was not able to get it working. When I tried using the Ingame FSR 3.1 frame generation as the frame gen source, it caused the game to crash. And when I tried using DLSS Via Streamline as the frame generation source, it was not able to unlock the in-game DLSS frame generation setting required for enabling XeFG. But using Optiscaler mod, you can combine FSR 3, FSR 4 or even XeSS Upscaler with the in-game FSR 3.1 frame generation. I'll be honest, would not recommend using frame generation in this game on Steam Deck as the base FPS always stays within a range of 30 to 40 even when running the game on low settings. Upscaler's preset set to performance, especially in the last level that features a big open area for us to explore. The game requires quick inputs, especially when fighting against tough bosses, and after enabling frame generation, latency will increase, which will make it difficult for you to execute that perfect dodge or parry. Okay, first I'll run the game without any mods installed, show you the base game performance. Switch to gaming mode using G Proton version 10-20 as the compatibility layer. Connected my Flydigi Vader 4 Pro controller to Steam Deck via Bluetooth mode. X input controller. I have the LCD variant of Steam Deck. Display supports up to 60Hz refresh rate. I have overclocked the display refresh rate from 60 to 70. Performance QM settings. Overlay level set to 3. Frame limit set to 70. Would not recommend disabling SteamOS pacing for uncapping the FPS as it can cause some frame pacing issues with the in-game FSR frame generation enabled. Show the in-game settings now. Display mode set to borderless. No FPS cap applied. VSync off. Motion blur disabled. Sharpening intensity set to 5. Super resolution I'll just set it to 50. Basically the performance preset of FSR 3 Upscaler. Game even supports XeSS 2 Upscaler, but even after updating XeSS files to the latest ones, you won't be able to access XeSS frame generation setting, and you cannot combine FSR 3.1 frame generation with XeSS Upscaler. This is disappointing. I'll stick with FSR 3 Upscaler. Low latency mode set to auto. Game supports anti-lag 2 now, but yeah, it's not going to work on Linux. Ray tracing is off, everything set to low. That's it. I'll straight away test the game in the last level, Rhino Watch Slope. There's a character, big open area here. FPS is close to 40. We can even fly around the map using a cloud. Spinning the camera, showing some ghosting around a character model. Even the weapon. Heard a weird noise. Yeah, it's that giant insect. I'll just summon my cloud. Just observe the cloud textures. They are rendered properly now. In the older versions of the game, cloud textures used to appear, or rather I should say used to look a bit pixelated. Rendered properly. Even when using the Upscaler's performance preset, giant creature is not hostile, thank god. Hopped away. 35 to 40 FPS. Just fly around. Show you some combat. Low draw distance. Some NPCs will appear out of thin air. There they are. Few hitches. This game still has some traversal stutters. It stutters for a few seconds when entering any new area or when a new effect takes place. It's my ability. Cloud step. 30 to 35 FPS during combat. If you plan on playing the game without frame generation, just apply a 30 FPS cap. Will give you a more stable experience. Okay, now I'll enable the in-game FSR 3.1 frame gen. Upscaler, make sure it's set to FSR 3 frame generation. Just set it to auto. Also apply a 1400 manual GPU clock speed setting. Open performance QM settings. Check the setting manual GPU clock and set the value to 1400 MHz. Back to the game. Yeah, FPS increased to around 60. Can observe that amount of smoothness, but look at that input delay. It's noticeable. This is why it's very difficult to recommend frame generation in this game on Steam Deck. Want the base FPS to be on the higher side, minimum of 40 to 45, but here we are getting around 45 to 55 FPS with frame generation. Games had elements, yeah, they are not flickering, that's good to see. Tearing like effect is present around the right and left edges of the display. Common FSR frame generation related artifact. It definitely helps in improving the performance. That's about it. No significant graphical artifacts. Okay, I'll quickly test the in-game XeSS upscaler as well. This will disable in-game FSR frame gen XeSS. Back to the game. FPS here 31, 30 to 33. Image quality is looking decent. Slightly sharper than FSR 3. FSR 3's image quality. A less ghosting is produced around a character model. So if you don't want to use FSR frame generation, you can use XeSS upscaler. Cannot summon my cloud during combat. Found the guy. Quickly take him out. Yeah, now I can summon my cloud. Flying around the map. The creature is gone. Okay, now I'll show you how to use Optiscaler mod. The latest preview for version 0.9 build of Optiscaler mod has some issues with Linux. Mod menu does not pop up, so I'll be using an older build. Version 0.9 preview 3. It's available on Optiscaler Discord server. We'll give the link to their Discord in the description. Just click on the .cmc link here. Download will start. FSR SDK was leaked a couple of months ago. It included files corresponding to the INT8 version of FSR 4 Upscaler. These files could be used to compile an FSR 4 TLL. Big thanks to Reddit user athlete-dependent926 for doing this and sharing the file with the community. Just click on the Go file link here. From this page you need to download AMD Fidelity FX Upscaler tx12.tll file. Click on download here. Open Dolphin File Explorer, click on Downloads. Here you will find all of the files that you just downloaded. I have transferred them to another directory. It does not matter. Now I'll install Optiscaler mod. Just open its archive file. Double click, click on Extract here. Extract. Wait for the extraction process to complete. Finished. Close the archive window. Open the extracted folder. Just change the name of Optiscaler.tll file to dxgi.tll. Select the file, right click, rename, type dxgi. Now just open Optiscaler.ini file. In this game we need to disable Optiscaler's dxgi spoofing feature, otherwise some graphical artifacts will occur. Blue or purple textures in the snowy areas. Scroll down until you find spoofing section. There it is. Under this section look for a line named dxgi. Just set it to false. I'll be using the in-game FSR 4 Upscaler to activate Optiscaler mod in this game. Click on Save, Close. Now just copy the highlighted files, libxeSS.dll, XeSS super resolution file for TX12 and Vulkan APIs, txt8.dll. Select all of the TX12 version of Fidelity FX files, Vulkan version of Fidelity FX not required, Optiscaler.ini file, Nukem 9 mod not required. Right click, copy. Need to paste these files in the game's install directory. Select the game in your Steam library, right click, manage, click on browse local files. Open B1 folder, binaries folder, Win64 folder. Paste everything here. 6 items, apply to all, override. Now I'll be installing the INT8 version of FSR 4 Upscaler. Just copy its AMD Fidelity FX Upscaler tx12.dll file that you downloaded from Reddit. Need to paste it in the game's install directory where we install Optiscaler mod. B1 folder, binaries folder, Win64 folder right here. Replace the existing file, override, and we are done. Don't need to add any launch argument to the game in order to get Optiscaler mod working in this game on Steam Deck. Switch to gaming mode. Play. Now just open the in-game settings. Set the upscaler to FSR 4. Yeah, the setting got unlocked. Frame generation disabled. Rest of the settings same as before. Things set to low. Apply. I have also disabled the manual GPU clock speed setting. Don't need to enable it when you are playing the game without frame gen. You need to restart the game after changing the upscaler to FSR 4. Once the game loads up, just open Optiscaler menu by pressing the insert keyboard key. Just increase the menu size. Click on the drop down bar next to menu US scale. Set the value to 1.0. Upscaler selected, XeSS version 2.0.2. Input FFX TX12. DXGS spoofing, yeah, it's off. Auto export setting is on. No frame generation selected. I'll change the upscaler to INT8 FSR 4. Click on the drop down bar next to change upscaler and select FSR 3.x as the option. Click on change upscaler. Yeah, FSR 4 is selected. Model settings set to default. Automatically selected model 3 for me, which corresponds to the in-game upscaler's performance preset. Correct. Base resolution 640 by 360 pixels upscale to 720p resolution. I'll enable Optiscaler's performance overlay. Expand FPS overlay section. Check the setting. FPS overlay enable. Full plus graph. Position top right. Scale 1.3. Save and close. Check out the performance. With XeSS 2 Upscaler, here we were getting around 40 FPS. After switching to FSR 4 Upscaler, FPS dropped to around 36. FPS dropped by around 4 to 5. Upscaler pause, it's around 7.2 milliseconds. Image quality is looking sharper than before. Minor ghosting is produced around the character model, very difficult to observe it on Steam Deck's small display. Good results produced by FSR 4 Upscaler INT8 version. I'm hearing those weird noises. Yeah, there is the insect. Oh no, game stuttered. Few cups can still occur. It's going to hop away. That animation caused the FPS to drop to around 28. So it's difficult to recommend FSR 4 Upscaler in this game. Comes with a big hit on the performance, as simple as that. Show you some combat. I am expecting the FPS to drop below 30. Stuttering, yeah, 25 FPS. See, I'll show you how to combine FSR 4 with the in-game FSR frame gen. Process is very simple. Just enable frame generation from the in-game settings, set it to auto. Enable manual GPU clock speed setting as well. Set the speed to 1400 MHz. FPS increased to around 44. Oh my god, look at that input delay. It's on the higher side. I would not recommend using FSR 4 Upscaler with FSR 3.1 frame generation on Steam Deck. In order to improve the performance, you can change the upscaler to XeSS. Just open Optiscaler Mod menu, click on the drop down bar next to Change Upscaler and select XeSS as the option. Click on Change Upscaler again. Back to the game. The FPS increased to around 50. So that's it with the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.